I'm getting ready to go to an event for my apartment building, so I figured I would do a little get ready with me and talk about things that you may not know about me. I feel like some people know this already, but I grew up in Connecticut. I grew up in a really small town. That is where I lived most of my life. I am the youngest sibling. I have one older sister. She is 3 years older than me. She lives in Connecticut. But where I currently live, I have no family here. I moved out of my parents' house when I was really young, like 19 years old, right after I graduated high school. Moved to a town like 20 minutes away from the town that I grew up in. So I've pretty much lived on my own ever since. And after I moved out on my own, I was also in college. I went to college in Connecticut. So I have both my associate's degree and my bachelor's degree. And while I was going to college, I was obviously living on my own and working full time. So I've always been pretty independent. I feel like that's why moving here didn't really scare me. And I pretty much changed my mind halfway through of getting my degree about what I wanted to do, but I still stuck with it because I didn't want to give up, and I was like more than halfway through the process. And so I eventually went and got my real estate license while I was also in college. So I was taking on a lot at the time. And that is what I initially used when I moved to Miami. But I no longer have my real estate license. I no longer do real estate. I still love it. I eventually want to be an investor, but it just wasn't for me. I did not like chasing clients. Also, my sister is like my best friend. We're still very close, even though I live far away now. Another thing that you definitely don't know about me is that I drive stick, so my car is standard. I pretty much taught myself. I had a few people that helped me learn, but it was definitely a process. I never thought I was going to be able to get it, but now it's like second nature. For work right now, I'm pretty much pursuing content as a source of income. I also work in the restaurant industry still, which I've worked in the restaurant industry since I was like 17. That's the job that I worked when I was in college. I'm a true creative at heart, and YouTube is probably like one of my biggest life goals. So that is something that I'm very focused on pursuing right now. I also have 11 tattoos. Most of them are on my legs. I feel like you can never really see them. I actually plan to remove about like 3 or 4 of them, but the other ones were absolutely intentional and I love them. I am also a cat mom to literally the prettiest cat ever. I was also born platinum blonde, so I've always been blonde except for last year when I decided to dye my hair red. But that was definitely a phase I wanted to try and it did not last. 3 of my biggest life goals are building a platform for myself. I want to be a real estate investor and I want to have my own clothing brand. I did not grow up religious or anything like that, so I'm spiritual, but I'm not religious.